Hi everybody, I'm Joan Plisko, the Community Sustainability Director at Pearlstone, and I welcome you to my home garden today, and I want to talk to you a little bit about being a gardener. I know we're all in this time of uncertainty, and for me, being in the garden, digging in the soil is really therapeutic for my mind, my body, and my soul, and I hope I can convey and share with you why I think it would be great for each and every one of you to have a garden as well. We live on one planet. When I dig in the soil here, it's the same soil that Shari would dig in New Jersey, or that my dad would dig in Florida. We are all connected through our gardening, just as trees are connected through our roots. I also love to garden because it's physical. And as a yoga enthusiast, sometimes when I'm in the garden, I do a table pose and do a little cat-cow, or when I'm weeding, I do a squat, a little malasana. So incorporating yoga and meditation into my weeding. And I love weeding. I just love to get dirty. Now, my first gardening influence I want to share with you was my dad. And when we grew up in New Jersey, he had fruit, he had some fruit trees, he had some vegetables. But I was a lapsed gardener until I lived in South Carolina and had an extensive growing season and really became much more in touch with composting and fruits and vegetables and herbs. So as we explore my garden together, I want you to think about what you'd like to grow. And that's one of the fun things about gardening. You get to choose what you want to grow. I grow fruits and vegetables and herbs and flowers because I love to eat, I love to season, I love to give gifts, and I love to attract pollinators and butterflies and beautiful things to my yard. So let's go. Oh, I also want to thank my daughter Ellie, who's shooting this video for me. Thanks, Ellie. You can grow fruits and vegetables and herbs in the ground, or you can use other things. So here is a repurposed bathtub that I got at Second Chance in downtown Baltimore. Last year I grew sweet potatoes here. The year before it was a pineapple sage, big bright red flowers. You know, the advantage of something like this is easy weeding and also easier to control pests. We had a problem with groundhogs one year, sprayed some hot pepper spray around the outside. They really didn't like that very much at all. Just a glance at my fig tree before we head over to this other garden box, which was repurposed from my neighbors. They were moving, it was on their curb. And this year I planted Swiss chard so far and peas. And as the peas come up, my goal is to put in these pieces of fig branches that I cut last year so that the peas can grow up and then grow along the fence. I have another bathtub. It's a fun thing to plant in. Gardening is a multi-sensory experience. I come out here and I hear the birds. We have one neighbor with a chicken. I hear kids. I even hear the planes and the traffic, and then I know everything is okay. So let's look what's over here. It's early spring. There's some mountain mint growing. Smells delicious, tastes delicious too. Got some beautiful crumbly soil. And then here's a quince tree. It's a young one. I have a bamboo fence as a privacy shield, but also as something that I grew cucumbers up last year. Another herb that's already sprouting this year, even though it's March, is my parsley. Parsley is a biannual. For those of you who celebrate Passover, it's a great addition to the Seder plate. Tastes delicious too. In this bed here are flowers. I have some daylilies, some sedum. Ellie's going to share with you about the clematis, the beautiful yellow flowers, and then show you the raised bed that's made out of repurposed railroad ties And a shout out to Josh Rosenstein at Edible Eden, who helped me create this. And one more thing I want to share with you in my garden is my herb spiral. Love my herb spiral. Thyme and sage and lavender and rosemary. So many herbs already growing in early March. We're going to talk about herbs next week specifically. Now, before we end today, I want to share with you one of the books that really got me started on gardening. How to Grow More Vegetables by John Jevons. It's my Bible. It's my gardening go-to. My second one is Carrots Love Tomatoes. Carrots Love Tomatoes is about companion planting. Just as certain people thrive when they're amongst other people, certain plants thrive when they're planted aside next to other plants, just like the book says, carrots love tomatoes. Now is the time to plant. I usually plant my spring crops, my lettuce, my Swiss chard, my peas, radishes, just after St. Patrick's Day, and then put all other warm weather crops in around Mother's Day. One final thing, I had the privilege of taking the permaculture design class at Pearlstone last year, which was a 100-hour gardening intensive. Gardening really is a journey. There's never a there. There's always something more to learn. And my new favorite gardening tool that I learned about from Dave is called a hori-hori knife. It serves as a shovel. It's a serrated blade, and it's also calibrated so you can measure how deep you're planting things. So with that, folks, I've also listed some seed companies where you can buy seeds, and I want to leave you with this thought by Audrey Hepburn. To plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow. And I believe in today, I believe in tomorrow, I believe in all of you and all of the things that you are going to grow and sprout together.